All right, so today we're going to turn this 55-gallon, pretty much food grade barrel, plastic barrel, into a pig waterer. If you're new to pigs, this is one of those things you really should do, because we started out just using pans and we put water in it, and that was actually almost a bad decision because they always knock it over. They go to the bathroom in it, like guaranteed, and they flick dirt all in it, so it's always nasty water. This keeps their water nice and clean. They can't go to the bathroom in it. And if you strap it to something, a lot of people put 3 T-posts and then strap it to it so they can't knock it over, because we have a 400, maybe 420 pound sow, and she can move anything. So you definitely got to have them strapped down if you have the bigger pigs. The other thing too is you want to make sure you get your height right. We're going to be stacking this one, so we're going to do one up for the bigger pig up here, and then we're going to do one a little bit lower because we're going to stack it about this high so that it will raise it up, because the big pig, her mouth is up here. So there's a few things you're going to have to get. One of them is the little nipple drinker right here. You can pick these up on Amazon, eBay, or your local farm or stock supply store. The other thing you're going to need is, best one I found so far is the bulkhead fitting. These things are great. It's a reverse thread on there, and it's got a little seal on there. And I mean, there's 1/2 inch. If you can't find the 1/2 inch, don't worry about it. You can get the 3/4 inch. There's an adapter you can get at your local hardware store. So you're just going to reduce from 3/4 down to 1/2 inch PVC, and you will need some Teflon tape. The best thing I found so far, it works nearly perfect, is a 1.5 inch paddle bit. Goes right in. It's such a tight fit, you can pretty much screw this right into the barrel, and it just kind of helps give it a nice fit. Now this one right here has the lid on it, so we're actually going to cut this in half and make an actual lid. You can't fit these in here, so if I could, I would. Now these come with 2 different size tops right here, or 2 different styles. One is a buttress, which is this really thick thread right here, so it's more industrial size. Then you have the normal pipe size NPS right here. You can take a 2-inch fitting and it'd go right in there, and then you can adapt it down if you wanted to build one sideways. I don't like the sideways idea, because then you can actually get another fitting, go up here, and you can fill your stuff. So that's not the way I want to do it. I think the best way. So we're just going to do the simple and easy way and drill a couple holes. We're going to make sure right here, we're going to cut through, make this, I'm going to put 2 little hinges right here so this can flip up. I'll scoot it out just a hair so it just catches right here. That just kind of keeps all the majority of the trash out of it, but yet allows me to flip it up to have easy access to pour water in it. So that's one of the first things we're going to do, and we'll come back. So let me get that cut real quick, and I'll be right back. Now I did want to touch base on this. Well, if you are cutting the lid off, you got to stay back just a hair. There is a lip in here, so especially near the edges where this is, because of strength. It needed that for reinforcement. So make sure you back off just a hair. All right. So next up, let's go ahead and start drilling the holes for the bulkheads. Now I'm staggering them so that way I can put a T-post in there to keep them from knocking it over. And I'm going to make sure I get it in a spot where I can still get in there and tighten it. So that way you get a bigger pig over here and the smaller pig over here. All right, there's two tools I use to tighten this. One of them is an actual oil filter wrench. This one's nice and clean, and a pipe wrench, because those fittings are pretty nice size. So unless you have a giant adjustable, all right, you have to have something to be able to hold it. All right, so now we'll go ahead and open. You're also going to need a small adjustable to tighten this guy up. All right. Pretty much simple and easy. All you're going to do is take your fitting right here. Now you can do it two different ways. If you really want it to be out here so it sticks out a little bit, you can do that just fine. So, or you can go in this way, and then it's just fine too. So pretty much get it right here and just start turning. Now again, putting it in the barrel, make sure you're turning to the left because the threads are reverse. So it's lefty to go to the tight and instead of righty tighty. All right, so there you go. Next up, you're gonna have to put some Teflon tape to go in there, and like I said, so that's if you want it to be about, close, less for them to hit is how I feel about it. When you have it further out, Miss B has come over here to see what we are doing. That is Miss Bessie. Hey, it's farm life, man. It's farm life. So let's go and get some Teflon tape on this bad boy. We're just going to kind of get it on there right now, and then I'm going to come back with the adjustable and tighten this bad boy up. Now these simply go inside and you just tighten them up. All right, I do want to touch base. When you have any of the little pieces get inside there, you want to go ahead and clean it as best you can before you install it. There is a little screen on these right here, so you don't want to clog that up. The other thing I'm going to touch base on real quick is get as much of this off as you can, but don't freak out if you have some still in the barrel and can't get it, because as you fill it with water, those float. I do two things. I use a little fish net. So I kind of cheat and I use fishnet and just kind of get as much as I can. And then the other thing that's going to happen after you get it in there and get it filled up to the height you want it, it's pretty cool because all the little particles naturally will go to the very outer edge, and as they drink and the water drops, it will make a line of any little teeny floating particles of the plastic that you might have missed. And all I do is I take a rag, and you can see where I've done it on another one, and you just wipe it, and it's like perfection. That way there's no plastic that can get to where the pigs are, and after a couple of times of filling it and a couple of times of using it, it pretty much gets it to where you can get all the particles out, anything that you missed. All right, so let's go ahead and get the next one in and get this thing finished up. It's so simple and easy. I'm not going to put the lid on in this video with the hinges today. That is something you can do on your own. All I'm going to do is I'm going to literally put a hinge here and a hinge here, or you can just put one big hinge in the middle. I'm going to scoot it out just a hair so that way it doesn't fall inside of the barrel. it will just kind of sit on the very outer edge. That's all I'm going to do. It's just there to keep it. Two things. I've seen a pig before jump, so that way it keeps him from jumping up and landing inside the barrel, which I've seen, which is crazy. And it keeps any other critters from crawling across the top, a rat, possum, raccoon, and falling inside your barrel and contaminating your water, or squirrel, or bird. And it also keeps any debris from trees or anything from falling in. So yes, we're going to put that back on, but we're just going to leave it a little bit of gap. That way it takes care of that. All right, again, if you did it from the opposite direction, you just tighten it from the outside. If you want it a little bit to stick out as a nipple, like I said, my pigs are destructive, so try to remove anything extra they can break out of the way. So if the nipple can be tucked in a little bit more onto this, I feel like it's a little bit safer around them. So, and don't be surprised if you get a little bit of a leak the next day. Just come back through and tighten it up. So it's real simple. All right, we're almost done. What I'm going to do is wrap some Teflon tape around this guy, tighten it up like the other one, and then we're going to get it in the pig pen. And one thing I will touch base on, a lot of people will take some peanut butter and wrap it or stuff it in the nipple and let them kind of figure it out. And it usually shouldn't take but a day or two, and they pretty much will take care of it. So I can't explain enough how important it is to get a really good watering system. Some of the mistakes we made in the beginning was, I think, the buckets we had on the ground. They would flip them, go to the bathroom in them, contaminate their own water, and if you're ever late getting there, so they have no water. This removes all that headache and pain in the butt problems you'll run into. If pigs don't have water for up to 24 hours, they can get salt poisoning. It's a bad thing. So this right here I found is a perfect solution. You can fill it, and technically you can even put a water hose up here and get a float valve and attach it to it, so that way it automatically keeps it full at all times. Other people also put some apple cider vinegar in here. It's cool. I've done it. I've tried it. I kind of like being able to see my water, and it's crystal clear when you don't have that in there. When you put the apple cider vinegar in there, one thing I did notice right away, the water got very cloudy. You couldn't even see where your bulkhead fittings was. But one thing I did notice too is here these past few days we've had a lot of ice, and the apple cider vinegar barrel didn't have any ice in it at all. So that was kind of cool. So I'm going to have to check it and see how cold it has to be before it actually has ice. All the other water jugs we had all had ice crystals in it. But the water that has the apple cider vinegar mixture in there, and I'll put a little bit in the description about how much you should put with the amount of water. So other than that, that is your pig waterer. It's all done. And it's just that simple and easy. And a couple of days worth of water, definitely. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next how-to video.